Everything is exactly where I want it to be.
Hey, Grandpa, is it true that Santa Carla is the murder capital of the world?
Well, there's some bad elements around here.
Wait a second, let me get this straight. Are you telling me that we moved to the murder capital of the world? Are you serious, Grandpa?
Well, now let me put it this way. If all the corpses buried around here was to stand up all at once, we'd have one hell of a population problem.
You're listening to Fun with Horror with your hosts, Scotty and Andrew.
Hello, everybody. This is Scotty.
And I'm Elissa.
That's right. Elissa is a special guest host today on Fun with Horror. When I was going through it, she invited me to Dead Right Horror Trivia in Burbank, California. It was wonderful, and I've been going ever since, and now we're really brilliant friends. And thank you for being on Fun with Horror.
Brilliant. I've never been described a brilliant friend. That's, I like that. Brilliant friends.
There you go. Brilliant.
Love it.
Well, I mean, I thought it was going to take longer to talk about how we met, but
Nah, it was,
there it is.
We needed somebody on the team, and Twitter at the time, Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh my God, I used Twitter. That's so weird to think about. Yeah, I made a little announcement and you reached out and I said, sure, why not? And then there was nowhere for you to sit.
That's right. I sat on the floor.
I felt so bad because I didn't know you. And then like somebody else reached out and so there was like 7 people there and we're only supposed to have 6. And it was like, what's the game? Not hot potato, but is that the game? Or duck, goose? Yeah. I felt so bad because you didn't know any of us. I'm like, well, you could take my seat, or you're like, I'll just sit right here. And you're in the corner on the floor.
And now you're all brilliant friends.
And now we're all brilliant together on Brilliant Dawn of the Deadites.
So what we do on Fun with Horror is we ask new guests 3 questions because it's the questions we're most interested in knowing about people. So first of all, can you remember what movie was your gateway into horror? What movie got you into horror movies?
Well, Scotty, yes, I can. So I can't remember the exact movie, but I'm pretty sure I know what it was. I know the general how I saw the movie, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm building this up too much. So my first like adult horror into that wasn't Are You Afraid of the Dark was Tales from the Crypt. 80s kids, they were allowed to watch whatever they wanted to watch and nobody stopped them. And so...
Wait. The TV show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting to the movie in a second, but it started with TV. So my grandparents had HBO, which was legit. That was like top tier in the 90s, 80s. Late 80s, early 90s. They were Italian immigrants, so they didn't know what the hell was on TV. Like, they didn't know. And so my sister and I would go there for daycare because my parents both worked. My dad was in the Army, so we were there all day, every day. And whenever we spent the night on the Tales from the Crypt nights, we would watch Tales from the Crypt, which was not something that I think like a 7-year-old or 6-year-old should be watching, but it was fine. That was kind of my main gateway into adult horror, which... really is adult. It's a little too adult if you think about it. There's a lot of boobies, a lot of boobies in episodes. And
I never really watched it.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite because of that. But yeah, there's a lot of boobies, a lot of cussing. So that was gateway number 1. And then the real entering into, okay, this is what I love. I'm terrified, but I love it, was Joe Bob Briggs on TNT, Monster Vision.
Yay.
I had my little like 16-inch TV or whatever, like tiny little TV in my room. And I would put on TNT, and then I remember he would always do the Friday the 13th. And I vividly remember it was either 7 or 8 was the first one I ever saw, I think. There's these vivid little moments when you're a kid and you see something that sticks out to you. And so for me, it was like the sleeping bag kill, for example. And then in Jason Takes Manhattan, it was Julian, the head, give me your best shot, punch off the head. And you see it in the cop car. Anyway, it's just kind of funny, though, because in 2026, I can't picture parents being like, oh, yeah, my child, she just keeps talking about, the decapitation scene in Hereditary or whatever. So it's just weird. The 80s and 90s were a time. What a time to grow up.
So what you're saying is your gateway was Tales from the Crypt and Friday the 13th.
Monster Vision / Friday the 13th. But the actual movie, the first one I remember vividly that actually legitimately traumatized me was The Blob, 88.
88, The Blob.
Yep. My mom used to help out. She, bless her heart, had a lot of different jobs. And so she helped with inventory for the VHS tapes at Albertsons when they had the rentals there. And so she would take movies home. And I remember there was The Blob. I don't know how or why my sister and I were able to watch it, being like, 5, 6, something like that. My sister was maybe 10. But we did, and I couldn't sleep in my own bed for 5 years after that. That's embarrassing. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But I was so, it was so traumatic. My sister used to threaten me if I ever told on her that she would tape my eyes open to watch The Blob. And that one was the one that truly first scarred me. And yet I loved it and wanted to keep watching more.
It's not embarrassing, and it leads into the second question that we love to know. What scares you in horror movies?
Oh.
Other than The Blob?
Oh, what scares
Does
me?
The Blob still scare you?
The idea of it does.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I tried challenging myself and I tried watching it, and I rewatched it for the first time a couple years ago in a while. And it's a great movie. It's one of the best practical effects movies that I've seen in a while. Yeah, even by today's standards, those effects were amazing. And it is a gross movie. It really is. So yeah, some parts I think the child in me still gets a little scared.
You know what? I think I own it on Blu-ray 4K, and I haven't watched my Blu-ray of it yet. So I'm probably going to go home and watch it because of this podcast. But what else scares you in horror movies? Anything, any specific themes or anything?
I actually try to think about this a lot because I want to be scared. And I think my brain scares me the most because I anticipate things. So if I know that there's going to be a certain subject matter in a movie, or there's supposed to be some crazy scene or whatever, my brain hypes it up too much. And then when I actually see it, I just feel kind of, not numb, that sounds bad, but I'm just kind of nah, that didn't scare me, damn it. And I get really disappointed. But I think in general, what scares me the most is probably just subtle horror. Little things in the background that you have to watch a third time to actually, it with the librarian, the lady in the back.
Yes.
Things like that. Or just anything that's left to your imagination, Paranormal Activity, things like that. That scares me the most.
I mean, that's fair because that scares me too.
Yeah.
That's actually, Paranormal Activity scares me. I mean, we've talked about this, Andrew and I. The Dark scares me, so Paranormal is basically the scariest movie I've ever seen. It's still hard for me to watch it. But that leads to our final question, and this is the biggest one. Can you name, you can name 3 movies or such, your very favorite horror movie of all time.
Is this a 3-part episode? Because I have way more. It's too hard.
Well, then name just a few. What are the first few that come to your mind?
Gosh, this is so hard. I'm going to cry. I mean, The Lost Boys is one of my all-time favorite movies, in the world.
Which is why we're going to discuss it.
Yeah, horror and just regular. It's one of my all-time favorites. I would say probably The Thing.
Okay.
Oh, this is hard. See, I have to
What
go
about
by
The Blob?
subgenre. No, it's not. I have to go by subgenre because it's hard, because I have horror comedies that I love so much. Fright Night. Let's go with Fright Night.
There it is.
That's my 3.
Okay, very good.
For today.
All right, well, let's discuss The Lost Boys then.
Yes, let's do.
How are those maggots? Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How do they taste?
The Lost Boys was directed by
Joel Schumacher.
It was written by Janice Fisher, James Jeremias, and Jeffrey Boom. And it stars Jason Patric as Michael. Sam is played by
Corey Haim.
Diane Wiest as Lucy. Barnard Hughes as Grandpa. Edward Herman as Max. Kiefer Sutherland as David. Jamie Gertz as Star. Corey Feldman as Edgar Frog. And Jameson Newlander as Alan Frog. Brooke McCarter as Paul. Billy Worth as Dwayne. Alex Winter as Marco, and last but not least, Chance Michael Corbett as Laddie. So, Elissa,
Yes.
normally this is where Andrew and I, without spoilers, tell each other what we thought of the movie we're talking about. However, we all know. What do you think of The Lost Boys?
It's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
exactly.
just like medium.
Kind of sucks.
It's medium, you know. It's only the greatest movie ever existed.
Yeah, so this is like, as you mentioned, it's one of your favorite movies. It's actually one of my favorite movies. So we're just going to skim over this and get to our trigger warning and our spoiler warning. So, everybody, it's time for the spoiler warning, followed immediately by any trigger warnings. If you haven't seen this movie by some weird chance and you don't want a single thing spoiled for you, this right here is the point of no return. Feel free to pause the episode and come back after you've watched the movie. But before we talk about the rest of the movie, we want to let you know of any major trigger warnings, inspired, of course, by the website doesthedogdie.com. Nearly every horror movie inherently has some triggers, but there are some that we would want to know about before watching a movie, so we're going to tell you about those. Elissa, there's 2 animals in this movie. What are they?
There's actually 3.
Oh, there's a third?
Blink and you'll miss it. Yes, there are 2 doggos and 1 rat
Oh, the rat.
in a montage.
That's right. Okay, so do any of these animals die, or does anything bad happen to them?
Nothing bad happens to them.
Thank the Lord.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. It's time for our 3-minute recap. Again, this is normally a different way we do things, but we're going to just do it a little bit different. I'm going to start by doing the 3-minute recap from memory, but I'm going to try and throw in some questions and have you fill in some blanks.
Oh, God, the pressure.
So here we go.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of heat time.
The Lost Boys takes place in Santa Carla, the murder capital of the United States. Is
The
it?
world.
The world. We get a little intro. We don't need to talk about that. Who's moving into Santa Carla?
Okay, so they're the Emersons.
You know their last names. Oh my God, that's amazing.
I think that's his last name when he goes, Michael Emerson. So you got Sam and Michael brothers and their newly single mom. Yes. Lucy.
Okay, so they've moved in.
Yes.
And
With
they're
Grandpa.
moving in with Grandpa. And Grandpa is eccentric. He's a crazy guy. He's awesome.
He's who I aspire to be when I'm his age.
Before you know it, they're going out into the town. This is a beach town. It's actually shot in Santa Cruz. So it takes, just picture California beach town. And there's a boardwalk. And before you know it, Michael has met a girl named
Star.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
Please.
I don't know if you're about to lead into it, but I was going to say
You lead into it.
you cannot gloss over the best part of the whole movie, which is how they met. How
Is this
they
the
saw
best
each
part?
other.
Oh, we'll get there. We don't have. This is a 3-minute recap.
How they saw each other.
We're already a minute in, so they meet. They go on a bicycle ride with motorcycles. So basically, Star is with David and the other 3 Lost Boys. These are the people that are in the title. They're vampires. Eventually, they have Michael drink wine, which is actually David's blood, but it's not David's, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it really his?
I think.
Or do you think it's Max's?
Oh my God.
Never thought about
I never
this.
thought about it. Wait, no, it has to be David because technically that's the way that he sired him, right? That was like
Okay.
his version of siring. I would have. Oh no,
That's a good question.
Oh, I'm gonna think about this for 5 years.
Okay, so he drinks blood and he starts to become a vampire. But with the rules of these vampires, he has to make his first kill before he's an actual vampire. Things happen. Sam meets Edgar and Alan Frog, and they run a comic book shop with their comatose parents. They know that there's vampires in Santa Carla. Eventually, they find out that they give Max a vampire test, and they find out that he is not the head vampire. They go to the vampire's hideout during the day, and they stake poor Alex Winter, who plays, oh gosh, what's his name?
Bill S. Esquire.
No, Marco. He's Marco in this movie. So they kill Marco, and then this is where David says the famous line, "You're dead meat."
Dead meat.
which we've heard in the Dead Meat podcast and the kill count. Anyway, so it comes to this climax where the vampires are confronting Michael and Sam and Star and Laddie at the house. They kill two of the vampires, and then David and Michael face off. Michael kills David, but nothing changes. And then Max shows up with Lucy. He sees David dead, and he reveals his big master plan, which is that he's the head vampire. He was going to make Lucy a vampire so she could be a mother to the Lost Boys. But then Grandpa shows up at the last second. He backs into the house, and there are big stakes, and one of them stakes Max, and Max becomes flames in the fireplace. And then Grandpa says at the end of the movie,
One thing about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach. All the damn vampires.
and there it is.
Boom, 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 boom. People are straying.
Copyright. So,
Man.
So tell me the first time. Well, that's the 3-minute recap. I'm pretty sure we came in just under 3 minutes.
That was, for my ADHD brain, that was so hard. Not like keeping quiet and not like going on a 10-minute tangent of each scene.
Well,
And talking about how Corey Feldman's the love of my life.
here's your 10-minute tangent. Tell me about the first time you ever saw The Lost Boys.
I can tell you exactly the first time I ever saw it. So I was a sick kid a lot. You have your movies that you watch when you're staying at home, you're sick. And this was when we first got our little TVs. This was around the same time, I think, as the Monster Vision era in my life. And I remember I had a sick day. I was home one day eating my Cheerios or whatever. And I turned on my TV and TNT was on. Naturally, that was just the station that was on. And maybe this is not exactly how it happened, but this is how my brain remembers it. I turn on the TV and then all of a sudden you see Michael slowly drinking the blood. And then you hear, and just the song with what was happening in that scene with the aesthetic. I don't know why my 6-year-old self, I think I was like 6 or 7. I don't know why I was mesmerized by that. I didn't know what was happening. I just knew that it was a part of my soul. And that was my first introduction to that movie. I was seeing it from that point on that day. And then I made a goal to myself. Little did I know, it was a neurodivergent thing. But I promised myself every sick day I would watch that movie and memorize the whole thing. And to this day, I have.
Well, that brings up a good question because you mentioned earlier that you were about 6 or 7 when you watched Tales from the Crypt.
It was around that time of my life. Like,
do you think you saw Lost Boys before or after Tales from the Crypt? And would Lost Boys be a formative movie in your horror relationship?
I would absolutely say. I think that was the one that, didn't scare me. It just like made me a fan. All the others scared me, but it fascinated me and I wanted to learn more. But The Lost Boys was something that I felt like it was like needed in my life. And that's probably where the obsessive fandom started. Because that was the first movie followed by the Nightmare on Elm Street series that I promised to just memorize for some reason.
See, now I think I saw, because I'm just slightly older than you, I believe I saw The Lost Boys in the theater. I think I was lucky enough to go to the theater and see it. Funny thing, this train of thought that I have, because as you know, I rewatched the movie a couple days ago for this podcast. And then yesterday, I watched Flatliners because to me, Lost Boys and Flatliners, both directed by Joel Schumacher, was a complete 1-2 punch for me. I loved both movies. Like I was in love with Joel Schumacher's movies.
When did Flatliners come?
After. I don't I forget.
Just sometime after.
I forget the year, but after this. I'm terrible with years. Yeah. When I was watching Flatliners, it made me remember something. And I know I did it with Flatliners. I don't remember if I did it with Lost Boys. But back then, I mowed my backyard. Like that was one of my chores. And I would sometimes, if I really loved a movie, put a little audio cassette recorder next to the TV speaker and record the audio. And I would listen to the audio of a movie while I was mowing a lawn. And I know that I did that with The Breakfast Club.
Yep.
I know I did it with Flatliners. I think I did it with The Lost Boys as well.
That's so cool.
I definitely had the soundtrack on cassette because I know I listened to the soundtrack while mowing the lawn.
This was before cell phones existed.
This was
friends.
back when I had to mow the lawn in my bare feet.
When you had to do a 5-step punch to get something recorded.
And further Joel Schumacher trivia, even though this had nothing to do with him at the time, before I left Florida and moved to California, I mowed the lawn one last time. I mowed the bat symbol into my lawn.
Yes, you did.
So that airplanes could see it, and it was brilliant.
Did it actually look like the bat signal, or was it
It was
a
actually
fail?
Amazing. I have it on a video
didn't
cassette
exist.
somewhere in my closet, and it looked really, really good. So, and this was interesting because yesterday I was listening to Joel Schumacher's commentary, and you mentioned that you haven't really watched the bonus features for this.
Yes. And that was a shocking revelation because every time I watch it, it was either, growing up on TV or whatever. And I just go straight to watching it. I don't even think about the bonus features, which I want to because that's fascinating to me. Everything I know about the behind the scenes, I either read or listened to in interviews, or my dear friend Paul Davis, he wrote Lost in the Shadows, which is the biography, I guess, of the movie. It's really cool.
So
I have
you've
it
read
somewhere,
that?
but yeah, I've read that. I just did a lot of research, listened to podcasts, just listened to interviews and everything, but I haven't seen the bonus features.
That's interesting. But that means that probably a lot of the stuff I have in my notes, you probably do know.
Hit me.
Well, we're going to get to those. First, I want to ask you, so as much as you love this movie, this is a 5-star movie for you, right? 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
If you're incredibly honest, is there any teeny tiny quibbles at all?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not.
Tell me.
I'm not one of those people that if I love something, I think it's perfect. It's the be all end all. I don't know. There's something about it to me that feels slightly rushed in some places. I don't know if there was more that got cut out or that's just the pacing of it. But every time I watch it, it's just it leaves me wanting more. But that just could be because I love it so much. But I feel like there's things that were a little rushed that could have been developed more.
I think a lot of that has to do with budget. I mean, Schumacher talks a lot about how small their budget was.
Right.
Because one of the things he did mention, and one of the things I have written down, is you don't see vampires flying.
Yep.
And you don't see them really turn into vampires until the end of the movie.
Right.
And that was basically because of budget constraints.
Well, and same with the shots when they're flying over the coast, then they did a reverse shot of that so they wouldn't have to spend the money or the time filming
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Well, no, he said he actually kind of forgot.
He
said he kind of forgot. He said, I don't know if we ran out of time or if I just forgot that we needed a shot of them waking up and coming out of the cave. So instead, I just used this backwards and
works.
And old shots they had already filmed of them waking up. And that's funny because every single time I've watched this movie, I always wondered why the water was splashing backwards.
Yes. Yes. I didn't think too hard about it because I thought maybe it's just like a weird film thing they did. But then once you know why, I love that so much. I have a fun fact for you.
Go for it.
I'm from Northern California, and I used to go to the boardwalk all the time. The Santa Cruz Beach
The Santa Cruz Boardwalk?
Yeah, there was a song, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, gotta be there.
Before or after you saw this movie?
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I think it was definitely after they filmed it because I moved out here when I was 14 and we used to go all the time. Maybe that was just the best time of my life because it was always between 6 and 10 years old. Around there is my memory hits the most. So it was definitely after it was filmed. And I think the first time I went there might have been before I saw the movie. And then afterwards, it just didn't hit me because I was so young. I didn't think about it. But I think I might have been once after I saw the movie. And I remember the Big Dipper, like all these rides that I would go on. And I miss it. It was really cool. I love it there.
When you went, was Tim Capello playing the saxophone and singing I Still Believe without a shirt on?
If he was, I would probably be a different person than I am today. I would have different inspirations. But I will tell you, I would give anything to go back in time to be there. People want to go back in time and change the world or like change laws or whatever.
Exactly.
I want to go back and see Tim Capello perform I Still Believe on the boardwalk.
That's funny because I always think I just want to go back and watch movies with people during opening weekends, like The Exorcist. I want to see audiences freak out.
I literally just wrote about this I was applying to a job. They're like, if you could go back in time, why? And I didn't want to say, I'd go back to the liberal movement I literally wrote, I want to go back to 1986, my birth year, because I want to see opening night these movies. Like, how cool would that be to see, I forget the movie example I said, but that would be really cool to go to opening night and see how people react.
See, and I did go opening night to a bunch of movies, and I don't remember most of them. I do remember Ghostbusters, but I don't remember how people reacted to, like, Pet Sematary. I just remember how I reacted.
I remember, the only movie I remember seeing was, like, Aladdin and Jurassic Park. I think that was the first PG-13 I ever saw in theaters.
I remember people freaking out during Jurassic Park.
So scared.
That was a great audience.
That movie actually still scares me. Talk about things that scare me. A movie like that scares me because I have misophonia. I can't even say it right. But the T-Rex noise is one of the only, that and the sound of a chainsaw.
Ooh.
I can't handle. And yeah, I worked at Halloween Horror Nights and had to hear it every night. But the T-Rex sound in that just...
Let's not talk about the chainsaws at Halloween Horror Nights yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, I hate them. Okay, this isn't a quibble. I really don't have many quibbles with this movie. I do recognize where the budget constraints are.
Yeah.
I can tell when they're racing on their motorcycles towards the cliff. Obviously, they're on a set and there's smoke trailing past them.
But I think that looks awesome. I love that.
I think it looks awesome, but I notice it. See, this is more of like a love-hate thing, and with not really hate even. Love quibble. Love quibbles. What do you think of the part where Michael is falling through the mist, and then he has a moment of calm, and then suddenly he goes, oh!
I was thinking, because I watched it earlier today to put on while I was making some stuff. And I thought about a time I saw it in the theaters. I went with my friend Brian Collins. He was moderating a panel, which was basically just Jason Patric when we saw a screening of it. And that was such a fun screening because I remember when that scene came on and everyone just busted out laughing because it's just, he's falling and it's just so peaceful. You could, he's probably thinking, wow, I'm kind of floating.
Yeah.
And this is kind of cool. But then reality hits and he goes, ah!
It's just it's the cheesiest shot in the entire movie, in my opinion.
And here's where my neurodivergent brain thing happens again. That was a commercial break on cable. They would always break it right there before he falls on the bed.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that stuff.
That's a terrible place to put a commercial break.
Yep. He would go, commercial. And then it would be Sam going, Mike, Mom's on the phone.
Speaking of, so because of Joel Schumacher and him talking about, in the commentary, he's just saying, and here we have a moment where we are shooting in slow motion and then we ramp up the camera in the middle of the shot. It was the first time that I ever noticed that Corey Haim comes into the room in slow motion.
Oh, wait, when? In that scene?
When he said Michael, they dubbed his voice over. But yeah, if you watch Corey Haim, because I'm always watching Michael.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that guy's out and he's a vampire now. But then Corey Haim, when he comes in, if you watch him specifically, he goes to open the window and it's in slow motion for a moment. And then he ramps up into normal speed.
I have to watch it again.
It's so cool.
Oh, see, this is exciting. I'm learning new things about my favorite movie.
Also, we don't know if it was David's blood or Max's.
That's going to haunt me. I got to ask my friend Paul, who wrote Into the Shadow. You should get it.
Yeah. Ask Paul.
I'm going to ask Paul. Paul!
How does Paul feel about having the same name as one of the vampires?
I'm sure he feels honored. He probably doesn't think about it much. But...
And did you ever watch American Gladiator?
Yes, I did.
So you saw Billy
Worth. Yep. I wanted to be, not Nitro, well, I kind of actually did want to be Nitro. I wanted to be Gemini, Nitro, Turbo, basically all the dudes.
I didn't want to be any of them. I just liked watching.
Gladiators. That's my aesthetic.
Okay, you know this. The Lost Boys was pitched to Joel Schumacher as a children's movie.
Oh, yeah.
And Richard Donner was originally supposed to direct The Lost Boys. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't know is Richard Donner said in an interview, sometimes you sit with a project for so long that you just lose all feeling for it. And that was basically what happened with him and the Lost Boys.
Yeah, that's right. Because I think he did Goonies with Corey Feldman. And I remember, I read something about that. I just don't remember exactly what
Joel Schumacher came in. Richard Donner went on to do Lethal Weapon.
That's right.
So.
Dang, it worked out.
Also, you mentioned Jason Patric, so you probably know this. He originally did not want to do this movie.
That's right.
Why? Do you know why?
Wasn't he just like a serious actor and he was dating Julia Roberts at the time?
Was he dating Julia?
Yeah. Wait, it was Julia Roberts, right? Wait, was it Julia Roberts?
I don't know. I
think it was Julia
just said
Roberts.
jading, though.
But another fun fact.
Dating.
My ex-boyfriend, his dad was the DGA. I don't know what the word is, not special intern, whatever, on the set of The Lost Boys. And when I found that out, I was very excited. It took all my might not to only talk to him about that. So I heard some things about the set.
Well, Jason Patric didn't want to do it because he thought it would be an exploitation horror film.
Oh, okay.
The thing that struck me when Joel Schumacher said that was that's funny because, of course, then he went on to eventually be in Terrifier 3.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he Sienna's dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sienna? Sienna? Oh, my God.
Sienna.
Is it David's blood?
Is it David's blood? Sienna, is it David's blood?
So, and then the other thing I love about Jason Patric is that Joel Schumacher said that he promised Jason Patric that he would not have to wear vampire makeup.
Oh, no.
But then the way the story went, it became imperative that he was in vampire makeup. So he had to break his promise. And Joel Schumacher says, I think he forgives me by now.
If you read Corey Feldman's autobiography, Choreography, he talks a lot about Jason Patric on set and being very kind of the professional, a loner, not loner in a bad way, but just kind of sticking to himself a little bit. And you learn a lot from his book. I highly suggest Choreography by Corey Feldman.
Choreography by Corey Feldman.
Of course.
That was another thing. I watched, there was a little documentary, like one of all these years later video, retrospective.
I think I've seen that one. Yep.
You probably have. It's an older one because it's got a younger Corey Feldman talking.
Okay.
Jason Patric is not in this documentary. Actually, a few people weren't. Like, they couldn't get a lot of the actors to come back for it, which is interesting.
I don't know what you're talking.
But it was nice to see because as much as I love Corey Feldman, he was very much sane at that time.
Yeah. When I say I love Corey Feldman and he's my BF forever, this is my younger self talking.
I know.
I want to clarify. I know times have changed in his life now that in his 50s.
Wait, so this is your younger self and not your present self who has tried to go see him in concert every time he comes to town?
Listen, it's neither here nor there. I'm aware that he has gone through some things, some challenges these past few years.
Oh, yeah.
And I will always defend him up to a certain point. But yes, I love Corey Feldman circa his kind of preteens into his late teens era. I think that's where he was in his prime and he started getting off the drugs towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there, something changed with him later. I think he really started to miss his youth and...
I mean, without getting into all the serious bad trigger warning stuff.
Yeah, not that part of it, but just
obviously,
the fun stuff and being famous.
Yeah.
I feel like he missed that.
I think he had some Arrested Development. He definitely has Arrested Development. I think it's very apparent now that he's been going through a midlife crisis.
Exactly. And it is.
And I'm not making light of it. I'm just saying,
I love Lost Boys, but it is a little bit bittersweet and sad to watch because... God, that was the beginning for him and Corey, and it could have gone in such a different direction.
Yeah.
But it kind of became a train wreck.
I really highly recommend listening to the audiobook of Choreography because he narrates it. And obviously the Lost Boys section is one of my favorite parts of the book, but he gets into all the detail about how he tried his first drug, how it was an extra on the set who introduced them to it, and how he...
On Lost Boys?
Yeah.
And,
damn. Him and... and Corey Haim, and he almost got fired, or he did get fired, actually. The scene where he's like, we're fighters for truth, justice, and the American way. Apparently that night before, he went on a bender. He just got so high on coke. Like, he was just really bad. He missed his call time. He showed up to the set, like, sweating, drenched, and he was in such bad shape that Joel Schumacher was like, you're effing fired. And like, I'm trying so hard not to cuss. But yeah, he got fired after that. That's the day he got fired, is that scene.
Wow.
And then I forget what happened after that, but yeah.
Well, Joel was very professional and didn't mention any of that in the commentary, which was nice. One thing he did mention about the Coreys, though, that was a fun story, is that they both really wanted to do when they almost back off the cliff, which is one of my favorite parts, because I will always laugh at Feldman's Christ.
Christ! Burn
That's like,
rudder does not mean
I have said Christ as an interjection
Christ
throughout my life just because of that moment.
Yeah.
Christ! But they wanted to do it, and then they found out that, it had to be stunt drivers, and they were super upset.
Yeah.
And Joel said that he was locked out of the Coreys for at least 24 hours
so funny.
before they got over it.
They were only 15.
And speaking of that scene, have you ever noticed something else I didn't notice until just this week? So they've just killed Marco.
Yeah.
And Marco...
Oozing the slime.
Yeah, and Joel
slime.
talked about...
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Jumping around.
They said
jumping
they
around.
didn't want actual blood because it was too graphic.
He didn't say that.
I thought that was...
He just said there was a conversation about what vampire blood would look like.
Yeah, okay.
But something
I'm remembering now.
you just mentioned that I never noticed is that when they come out of the cave, they have glitter all over them.
They are the OG glitter vampires.
But it wasn't supposed to be glitter, I don't think. I think it was a trick to make it look like they were wet in the sunlight without keeping them wet.
It makes perfect sense, though, because they're they're butt rock vampires. It makes perfect sense.
But yeah, I think it was a special effects trick. Joel didn't mention it. I wish he had mentioned
That's very Joel. I feel like that would be intentional if he...
All right, so I got a question about vampires.
Okay.
This movie follows vampire lore pretty darn close. The one liberty that they take that I think is interesting, it was the liberty that they took to basically give an excuse to have the big reveal at the end. They test Max at dinner. Great scene. Love that scene.
I wish I had a vampire test.
Right?
Nobody's tested me.
I'll throw some holy water on you in a second.
No.
But then nothing works. Like, he casts a reflection in a mirror. He eats garlic and it just tastes bad. And yeah, they spill holy water on him. Nothing happens. But then at the end, when he reveals himself, he says, "Silly boy, you never invite a vampire inside. You lose all your power." When I think about it, it doesn't make much sense to me.
I mean, I get it, because my other favorite thing in the world is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And, you can't invite them in, but they have a physical barrier. Like, they can't get in.
That's what I'm used to. I'm used to something like that.
Yeah. I think I get it in terms of, it renders you powerless, because you are. Like, what's the word I'm trying to say?
But see, that's the thing. Yeah, it renders a person powerless, but reflecting in a mirror has nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah, I never understood.
Not having holy water burn you has nothing to do with Sam and the Frog Brothers, because they didn't bless the water. The church blessed the water.
I never really understood how that worked.
See, this is what I was thinking about.
That's another little, I wouldn't say a flaw, but it's a little dip, plot
because,
hole,
okay,
I
so
guess.
David and the other vampires come into the house, and they're vampires. I don't know. I don't remember seeing a mirror with any of them. But, okay, so...
when he's like, "Your creature of the night, Michael."
Yeah,
he's a pseudo reflection, I guess. But he
lives
translucent.
there.
He's translucent.
He lives there. He's been invited in by Grandpa.
And he was only half vampire.
He was half vampire.
But maybe because Max is the head, he can control that. The rules don't apply. Maybe he's above all that. He said hermit.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he has the power to cast a reflection.
Yeah.
To fend off garlic and holy water if he's been invited in.
But then Paul says garlic don't work, boys. But try holy water, death breath. So garlic doesn't work.
He said that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, wow.
If he had swallowed garlic, I wonder if maybe in this lore, garlic does not work on vampires.
Maybe it's like an allergy, like a mild irritation. Maybe it's just sort of my nose is stuffy. Maybe it's like it won't kill me, but I have indigestion. Next
question. Do you ever watch a movie so many times that you just either don't grasp something in the movie because it's just such a habitual viewing for you that suddenly years later you kind of realize something that you never realized before?
I mean, literally everything that you mentioned today is the stuff that I've never thought about in all of my 30 years I've seen this movie.
Okay, this is something that probably won't fit in that category, but it did for me.
Okay.
I never really grasped the fact until yesterday, basically, that Star was basically luring David. I mean, they say it, but I never caught it. But that she's trying to seduce David so that not David, Michael. Yeah. So that Michael can be her first kill and turn her into a full vampire.
Before they get sexy?
There was supposed to not be sexy. Yeah, in general.
Oh, yeah.
The first scene when he sees her at the Tim Capello concert, she was purposely trying to catch his eye so that she could take him aside and kill him later. And then she would become a full vampire.
Right.
I never really understood that until now.
Yeah, it's like when you don't think about that stuff until you sit down to think about it.
And I guess I never really, I think I did probably in the beginning, but The Lost Boys has just become such a title in my head. I guess I stopped thinking of Kiefer and the other vampires as the Lost Boys.
Right.
They're the Lost Boys.
They don't have a home. They have a mother to go home to.
Did you catch that the little kid that Lucy helps?
Laddie?
No, not Laddie. The little kid that is lost.
Are you lost? Oh, Terry.
Are you lost?
Terry, yeah.
Wait, who's Terry?
The kid.
That's the kid?
Yeah.
That little kid's name is Terry?
It's Terry, because she goes, bye, Terry.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't kidding. I know every line in that movie.
That's amazing.
If only I could get paid for that skill.
You can.
See.
So, I never really caught the theme that he was a lost boy, too.
Like a literal lost boy.
A literally lost boy.
Oh, his face could have been on that. Oh, I didn't. Yeah.
Does Vampire Max, when Max turns into vampire face, does he look like John Lithgow to you?
Oh, I never thought about it. I want to rewatch it now. I always thought he looked scary, though. When I was younger, his vampire scared me. But I think it's because Ed Herman is just so sweet and darling and charming. And then when he's a vampire, he's just, it doesn't look as pretty as the other boys.
That's true.
He's not as pretty. I
think the moment with Michael hiding in the shadows with Star blocking him from, was it Lucy when she comes in? Or was it Sam?
It was Sam and the brothers.
That is such a well-lit, beautiful moment.
Yeah.
I really, really grasped. I really felt that moment. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, it was a well shot. It was.
It's a great shot. And I love the fact that she's like helping to hide his face.
Yeah. And that's something I didn't understand either, because you never see her with vampire eyes or teeth. Laddie,
she was never tempted. She never got violent.
So it's the violence that...
It's the violence and the temptation of killing.
And that's why Laddie suddenly turned into...
Because Laddie's a kid. He can't control it.
Right. Okay.
Michael, you see his eyes turn first when he's tempted by Sam in the bathtub. His pupils change. Then you see his eyes change, I believe, when Michael... Wait.
When they have the bonfire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't his eyes change a little bit? And then, of course, at the end, when he is...
Like he has the eyes and the teeth.
When he kills David.
Yeah.
And I think throughout this entire episode, I have mixed up their names. So
it happens. They're both very, generic male names.
I'm gonna throw some behind the scenes crap at you, and I'm gonna see if you know about this.
Give me trivia too.
Okay, so Joel had Corey Feldman watch 2 action stars to create the character of Edgar Frog. Do you know which action stars those are?
Stars or characters?
Actors. He had
Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
And who was the other one? It wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
It was who was the other one? Because I remember learning this and I laughed and I thought, hey, you did a pretty good job. But now I don't remember who the other one was.
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. Okay, that makes sense.
There you go. I love that Joel actually called up Ray Manzarek from The Doors.
Oh, yeah.
And Joel went off on The Doors, by the way. Joel loves The Doors. He said he still loved The Doors when he recorded the commentary. And he always felt like the Lost Boys represented the feeling of The Doors.
When I was younger, I thought that Michael was...
Jim Morrison.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just had a brain fart. Yeah, and there's that giant freaking
Jim Morrison
Morrison
poster.
plastered.
Yeah. That was the first time I had ever heard The Doors. I had no idea that it was a Doors song. People Are Strange, yeah. So the first time I ever heard People Are Strange.
There are two different versions, though. I mean, Echo and the Bunnymen do one, too.
No, this is Echo and the Bunnymen.
Oh, yeah, and then The Doors is the original. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so
what,
this
okay,
was
yeah.
the Echo and the Bunnymen version in this movie was the first time I ever heard People Are Strange.
Me too.
And Ray Manzarek was playing with Echo and the Bunnymen at the time.
Really?
So that's how Joel got that song in the movie.
Cool.
So that's amazing.
That's cool.
This is a little fun with horror trivia for you. Our most recent A Serbian Film episode, if you will, in which we actually reviewed The Cat in the Hat. Guess who it was directed by? Bo Welch, who was also the production designer on The Lost Boys.
Really?
Full circle.
Interesting. The more you know.
I wrote that Corey Haim was 13 for some reason. Jason Patric is the reason that Jamie Gertz got the part. Did you know that?
I knew it, but I forgot until you just mentioned it again.
Joel
I forget
Schumacher
the story,
wanted
though.
a blonde
That's right.
star with like a pixie haircut.
Right.
And
And she was not what he envisioned.
exactly. But Jason Patric said, give her a chance, give her a chance. He
Yeah,
was
she's
just,
perfect.
and even Joel said that he felt like Jason Patric had a crush on her at the time. Who wouldn't?
Exactly.
The studio at the time was confused as to whether or not Joel Schumacher was making a comedy or a horror movie. And Joel answered yes.
Yes.
This was really cool. Joel Schumacher said that the vampires are the one classic monster that's kissable. And he said,
Wait.
vampires are kissable. The mummy, not kissable. Wolfman, not kissable.
You can be.
I mean, Frankenstein's monster can kind of be kissable. Especially if he's
bride is
Jacob
kissable.
Elordi.
Yes.
He said, plus they exchange bodily fluids. He said that Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? He said this was his own theory. But Joel Schumacher said that the idea of Dracula coming back to Mina again and again and draining her of blood night after night was a veiled form of oral sex.
Interesting. I mean, really, anything with vampirism is a euphemism for sex. So anything.
And obviously, Joel mentioned that he loved Interview with the Vampire.
Interesting.
This was great. The maggots.
Yes.
The maggots and the worms.
Yes.
Okay? Joel Schumacher said, if you ever shoot maggots, they just sit still. They don't move. He said, but I know, do you know how to get maggots and worms to move?
Don't you have to I don't know.
No, you squeeze lemon on them.
No, that's cruel. Well, I mean.
I don't know if it kills them, but it does make them squirm.
Oh my God. Ah.
I got more for you.
That's good. I will hear all of them.
Joel Schumacher had a great commentary. I actually loved it.
I want to watch it. Oh.
Well, now you don't have to because I've told you everything.
I'm leaving. Thanks for ruining it for me.
When the Frog Brothers and Sam are crawling into the vampire cave, if you notice, they shoo away flies because the scene called for flies to be all over that cave. And so you see Corey
I thought it was
Feldman
webs. They were...
No, it's flies. But you can't see the flies on camera. They are there.
Yeah.
But you can't see them. Joel Schumacher had a fly wrangler, and he said that after the Lost Boys finished filming, there were flies all over the Warner Brother stages for like 6 months because they kept breeding new flies and stuff, and everybody hated them because of that.
I hate flies. I can't. Do you have the injury?
I don't think
on
so.
there?
I think actually that's it. I have one last one, and then you tell me the injury.
Okay.
The last one I have is that It's kind of stupid. Joel just said at the end, when Max dies and black smoke comes out of the fireplace, he's like, it's one of his biggest regrets in his film history because the black smoke that came out just left soot on everybody. Like it got in their pores. And they were like washing soot off of things for days.
Oh, God.
So he was like, I hated that I had that idea.
I didn't know that.
What injury? Tell me about this injury.
So, when they kill Marco and David goes down, he says, "You're dead meat." And so he's chasing them. And he tries grabbing them. We're like, Sam. And he's pulling him. And then they finally get his hand into the sunlight and it lights on fire.
Yes.
That was real. His hand actually, the fire hit his hand or something like that. And when you see him turning to the camera and there's a tear coming down his eye, that's a real tear.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Joel did not talk about that at all.
That's a real tear.
All he talked about was that's a famous shot that's been used in many vampire compilations.
Yep. Because it was a mix between obvious real pain, but also the contacts were like he was miserable in that moment. So that's a real tear when you see that.
I love that.
Me too.
And that's something I just wanted to bring up. Out of everything that I love in this movie, one thing that really, really struck me this time, and I know it struck both of us every single time, but it just really hit me this time, is how much of a presence Kiefer Sutherland is in this movie especially.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Joel Schumacher says that of all the main characters, he's got the least amount of lines of any of them, but his presence makes you feel like he's got more lines than he does.
It's his charisma. Like, he's really a vampire.
He is, but he's also just amazing. Like,
no, he's great.
He's got that evil that you felt in Stand By Me.
Yeah.
But then a charisma that you're also drawn to.
Well, and what makes him the true Lost Boys, he has and when he's dead, you see his innocence. Like he has an innocent little baby face. Yes. But there's something behind the eyes. He has the secret behind the eyes. I met him. Did I tell you that?
No, tell me.
Oh, okay. No, I met all of them except, unfortunately, who passed. But yeah, so my co-star, my acting co-star, we filmed an episode of Sex Sent Me to the ER.
Okay.
On TLC. And when we wrapped, we decided to go to karaoke to go to the Chimney Sweep in Sherman Oaks, because I lived in Sherman Oaks at the time. And we went there and we were chilling outside, and he knew that I love the Lost Boys because apparently I say that to everyone I meet for the first time. So he was like, "Hey, so Kiefer Sutherland's here." And I tried my best not to freak out. But I think that they just came from like a wake or something. He was, little, had a few. He had a few. And I don't want to, get too much into that because I don't know if he was supposed to be sober at the time or not, because I know he has issues.
Yeah.
Substance abuse issues. But
wait, dude, was this a wake for Brooke?
No,
maybe?
It was when did I film that? Like 2015 or something like that.
But a bunch of the actors from the Lost Boys
No, it
were
was
there?
just Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, you've met them different
separately.
times.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry,
gotcha.
Preface that. Yeah, he was there, and then he came on the patio, and I said, "Screw it." He seems like he's.
You said screw it to Kiefer Sutherland?
I wish I did. I mean, no, he looked pretty schnockered, and I thought, you know what? Now I'm going to go up to him and I'm going to talk to him. And if he is awful, maybe he won't remember. So I went up to him and I told him how much I love him and how The Lost Boys is my favorite movie of all time. And he was very gracious. He was also probably not looking at me in the eye. And he just smiled and nodded. I have a picture with him and we had a conversation.
That's amazing.
And I'm taller. I'll show you the picture after this.
That is amazing. I do love that.
Yeah, he was kind. I mean, granted, the situation was probably weird for him, but, it was nice.
The last thing I want to talk about, unless you have more, is the music, because holy crap, this is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time.
Me too. One of my favorite movie soundtracks. Because that's my jam. That's my era. 80s butt rock and glam rock and just 80s in general.
That's right. Mm-hmm. I have purposely put on 80s butt rock when you got in the car to drive you to trivia.
That is my vibe.
I just want to talk about this soundtrack and every single song on it because they're all great. And I actually have the vinyl, and I listened to it yesterday
nice.
after we talked, after I watched the commentary. I was like, I want to listen to this soundtrack.
Nice.
First, we got Good Times, Jimmy Barnes, and In Excess.
I can name you the scenes that these songs are in.
Go for it.
That's when he wants to get his ear pierced, and she said, I'll do it for you. If you want your ear pierced, I'll do it for you.
Okay, bonus. It plays at another moment, too. When?
I want to before Dwayne blows up into oblivion.
Yes.
And has the best line in the whole movie that I want to name my cover band, Death by Stereo.
I'm high-fiving you. That was awesome.
Cool.
Next song is Lou Gramm with Lost in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
Where does that play in the movie?
Only the best scene. Well, no, it's not the best scene. But they're racing their motorcycles. How far are you willing to go, Michael?
There you go. Also, so funny enough, the first time I ever heard People Are Strange was Echo and the Bunnymen. Mm-hmm. Also, the first time I ever heard Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, I didn't know it was an Elton John song.
Uh-huh.
I honestly, really, at the time, didn't know who Roger Daltrey even was, really.
Yeah, when I realized he sang that, I kind of blew my mind because I never thought about it. I never really listened to it that far in the credits, but...
Yeah, that same. So I watched it once, and then I watched it with the commentary. The first time I watched it this week, I only listened to, what was the last? It's
People Are Strange.
People Are Strange, thank you. And I didn't listen to the end of it. And then when I had the commentary on, I kept it playing, and all of a sudden, the little trumpet comes on. And I was like, oh,
Such a vibe change.
This song is in it.
Yeah.
But it's thematic. Don't let the sun go down on me.
Yeah.
Laying Down the Law by In Excess.
Yep.
When does that play? I don't know this one.
That one is
Actually, I do know.
I know it's on the boardwalk.
Yep.
Comic book scene, I thought.
Yes.
Yeah. One of them.
I'm not sure if it's the comic book scene or the video store.
Oh, wait. Is Laying Down the Law, though? How does it go again?
Laying down the law.
Oh,
There you go.
That one. Yeah, that's... Oh, no, I think that's when Sam first goes into the comic book store.
Okay.
He's like, do you have a problem? Just scoping your civilian wardrobe.
All right, this one's easy. People Are Strange by Echo and the Bunnymen.
Montage and ending.
And beginning. Oh, montage.
Yeah,
montage.
yeah.
Yeah. Gerard McMahon, Cry Little Sister.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah. I don't think it even plays in the movie.
No, I've never heard that song before.
It doesn't play like 3 or 4 times in the movie.
No.
How about, this is a tough one. This may be the one I was thinking of. Power Play by Eddie and the Tide.
You know why it's easy and I know that one?
Oh, tell me.
My uncle was their manager at the time.
Okay, so when does it play? That's great.
My uncle says that it was... That one, keep me up on... Isn't that the song? No, that's the one where she's...
No, this is like Eddie and the Tide. It's... Now I've got Laying Down the Law in my head.
Yeah, isn't that the one that goes, keep me up on it? That's the ear pierced one.
Yeah, I think it's the ear piercing.
Yeah, that's the
scene.
ear pierced one.
Okay, this one's stupid. I'm not even going to ask. Tim Capello, I Still Believe.
In my head every night.
But okay, here's the thing. Okay, it's weird how your tastes kind of change because, okay, back in these days, I'm sure you know this, when a soundtrack like this would come out, they would stack the beginning of the soundtrack with the hits, with the singles.
Okay.
So like Good Times, Lost in the Shadows, Roger Daltrey, of course, is going to be at the beginning. These were like the singles.
Is that what they did? See, I always thought they went in order from how they appeared in the movie.
Not
I always
in the
wondered
least.
why they're like, why is that one up?
The last song before like the little thing at the end, which I'll get to, is a song called Beauty Has Her Way by Mummy Calls. When I hear that song now, it affects me more nostalgically than any of the other songs on this album.
Oh my gosh, which one was that?
So that is playing when Star is getting on the motorcycle with David.
Oh, yeah.
It's very much in the background, but it is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And it's very 80s. If you see the video, it's like the corniest thing you've ever seen. But it's a great song. And finally, last song on the soundtrack, To the Shock of Miss Louise by the composer of the score. No,
I know, but that one is in it. I'm surprised that one's... Wait, that's on the soundtrack too, right?
Nope.
Oh.
That one's not on the soundtrack. Run DMC is not on the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
But no, this is the merry-go-round song.
Oh, okay.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun.
they played that at Horror Nights one year I worked there.
Oh, yeah.
When it was the Freaks theme or whatever, the whatever that theme was.
I remember them
I
playing
worked-
it. They played it in the fog.
Yeah. Fun fact, did you know that I Still Believe is a cover of...
I did not know that until
By The
Joel Schumacher
Calling.
mentioned it, The Calling.
Also, the Proto Men does an amazing cover. The Proto Men, is it do or does?
Do.
If it's a band, is
They
it
do.
Okay.
They do.
The Proto Men do a really awesome cover of it that blends the original with the saxophone element. And it's awesome. If you don't know the Proto Men, they're awesome. I'm pimping out my friends.
There you go. So the only thing that ever disappointed me is I've always been a huge fan of music scores.
Mm-hmm.
And the only piece of score from the movie that was ever released as an album, to my knowledge, is the merry-go-round theme.
That. And well, now in 2026, technically you got original score with the musical.
That's not the original
I
score
know.
of this movie,
That's
though.
the whole point. Don't get me started. Just don't.
Okay, so I always wish that they would release a score to
Yeah.
The Lost Boys. Thomas Newman is a very accomplished composer. He did Shawshank Redemption, Road to Redemption, many, many others. Spectre, my God. I always wish he had done it.
Yeah, it's a good score. I like it.
I think that's it. Are you ready for 3 questions about The Lost Boys?
I think so. Let me get my chapstick. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
Question number 1, and we ask these questions every episode.
Okay.
What did you think was the best kill or death in The Lost Boys?
I mean, it's got to be Dwayne.
Dwayne, you going with Dwayne?
But I also think that the kills in the bonfire beach Nazi scene, I think those kills, I think those were edited. I think they were actually a lot more graphic than they did these quick shots in the movie. But I think they actually had longer scenes originally planned for that. And if you look at all of them closely, that's really some gross stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's pulling his scalp off. He's like pulling his throat out. Like that's...
Wholesome.
I know. I'm trying. That I think those are really cool too.
Okay, but which one are you going to go with? Dwayne or
I mean,
one of the bonfire guys?
listen, Dwayne is death by stereo for a reason.
And he explodes.
And two, I'm gonna have a good time tonight. Can't go wrong with that.
I'm going to go with David because I was watching it, and first I was going to go with the guy at the bonfire who gets scalped because I was like, oh my God. But then it got to David, and I just love how Michael turns David around into the antlers. And there was always something I'll never, ever get out of my head, just David rocking back and forth. And I always wondered why he was rocking. And yes, and then Cry Little Sister coming up. And then what you mentioned, when Max walks in and you see David's like real baby face, you know, and it's just like, I love that death.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. It's good.
Question number 2.
2.
Do you think The Lost Boys is scary?
No. When I was younger, there might be. I think when they turned, like the bonfire scene scared me a little bit because they were just so feral in that scene and just aggressive, and it was pretty off-putting. But I see more of the comedy in the movie than I do the horror by a long shot.
You know, I agree with you. And it's funny because, like I said, I watched Flatliners afterwards, and while Flatliners feels similar because of the young actors and such and beautiful people, it's way darker. And there's much less comedy in Flatliners. There's like Oliver Platt has some funny lines and stuff and some comic relief. But overall, it's a much more serious movie.
Yeah.
But it's still got that Joel Schumacher feel.
See, that's why I think The Lost Boys is probably one of my favorite horror comedies too, because it's so hard to have a movie that is a great balance of horror and comedy. How I know that it's a great movie in general is my mom. I showed it to my mom a long time ago. She don't like horror movies, but she actually loved The Lost Boys. She thought it was hilarious. Like it's a smart movie. The dialogue is great, and it's very hard to do horror comedy.
And a lot of the comedy comes from Corey Haim. Like, he's amazing. Him and Feldman
they're great.
And Jameson, you know.
Corey Feldman's a great actor. I mean, he was tops.
You know, speaking of actors, before we get on to the last question, another thing I never really noticed, because you're kind of captivated by Corey Feldman in this movie, but when they kill Paul in the bathtub, I don't know if I ever noticed that Alan is just screaming his head off as he's holding on to Edgar.
Actually, push my glasses up. Nanook kills Paul. The dog
True.
Nanook.
True. No, you're right. Nanook.
But I always think about that because he's like, and he just hugs him the whole time. Fun fact, Alan Frog was also in The Blob, 88.
He was?
He was the usher at the movie theater.
Oh, my God. I'm definitely watching it later.
Yep. Full circle.
My God. Question number 3. Okay. What was the name of the other dog?
Thorn.
Okay, just kidding. Question number 3. Did you have fun with horror?
Did I have fun with horror? Gosh, my brain just went to another teenage dirty place. Dang it.
Wow.
Stop. I am a teenage boy.
Even Andrew and I don't go to teenage dirty places when I ask this question.
All the time. Yes, I had fun with horror. Yes.
The Lost Boys is a very fun movie.
I had a delight. It was a delight.
There you go.
It was brilliant. It's my brilliant friend.
Cry, little sister.
You're creature of the night, Michael. Just like out of a comic book. You're a vampire, Michael. My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy. Sam, you wait. Sam! Stay back! Just stay back!
Well, Elissa.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being a guest on Fun with Horror.
Thank you for having me.
It's your first time on here.
It is.
So why don't you tell everybody what you're doing these days? You have some aromatherapy scents that you have shared with me.
Yes.
Tell me about them.
Well, you know, the entertainment industry is a little slow right now. I'm an actor, and
it also smells bad.
It smells bad. So I have been taking a pause to find other things that I love, and I am a certified nutritionist and holistic health coach. It sounds very woo-woo, but I assure you I am not. So I found a love for aromatherapy and for cosmetic skin making and for cosmetic skincare and herbal remedies, because I do herbalism too. And I thought, gee, how can I combine these things I love? And so I just started developing, because the sense of smell is my strongest sense, I think. And I get triggered. It just brings me to my childhood. I just get so much nostalgia from different smells. So I decided to create products based on horror movies. And I'm going to do also just any like 80s movies in general, just nostalgic stuff. I also do like 90s craft haunted house and like, what's it called? Like Spirit Halloween, the smell of costumes and trick-or-treating and just like bringing nostalgic smells. So yeah, I even have a Lost Boys one.
Oh, what does that one smell like?
That one, I have a couple different versions, but the one that I actually finalized, it's like a rose mixed with sandalwood, it's like hippie meets boardwalk meets kind of a deep, sexy.
Woo.
Sorry,
Woo.
you were just. I looked over and you're like, go on. Yeah, it's kind of like a sexy, intriguing boardwalk, a little bit hippie smell that lures you in.
Interesting.
I'll let you smell it.
Thank you.
And a little bit of dirt for their underground.
Oh.
You smell a little hint of dirt in there, and it actually smells really good.
Well, very good. Yeah. The last time I came over and you shared some of your scents, you had a trick or treat one, which I loved.
Oh, that one's so good.
That one's my favorite.
That one's so good.
And then you asked me later, you're like, give me some horror movies. I forget what I even said.
What did you say? I don't know, but I have some interesting ones.
It was difficult. That's a difficult question because you know, you have most of the big ones. You have Halloween, you have Texas Chainsaw, I believe.
And I want to make deep cuts, but obviously for
then what
commercial
do they smell
purpose,
like?
a lot
What do
of
they
people
smell
would,
like?
And that's the fine line. You have to find out, okay, you can do Texas Chainsaw. It's not going to smell good, but how do I make it smell good? So I'm playing around with the good smell version, and then I also want to do like bad smell stuff. Just because it's just, I don't know, there's a market for that. But I also
you can just have it smell like dead meat, but then add some vanilla.
Well, I have it smelling like the countryside with a little bit of like a smoky smell for like a meat smoke. And I also have like a bacon one that I do. So it smells kind of like bacon countryside.
What would Franklin smell like?
Oh, God. Nobody wants to smell Franklin. Nobody wants anything to do with Franklin. Anyway, I'm up to the challenge. I like taking customs. Somebody asked me to do... shut up. Somebody asked me to do one for the fly. And
what does the fly smell like?
I haven't done it yet, but it's going to be a very sterile smell.
What does Jeff Goldblum smell like?
God, he smells it. I met him. He's my boyfriend.
This is really going off the rails.
Doesn't matter.
What's your Instagram?
You can find me at Elissa Wag, Elissa. And I also have my business on my profile as well. The.chronic.creatrix at. You can find that on my profile.
At Instagram. There you go.
And I also, I just chill out, do some acting, do some burlesquing.
Oh, yeah, that's
do
right.
Some tarot reading.
Some tarot reading.
Tarot reader, too. So
you've read my cards before.
I have. If you want your cards read, hit me up.
The Chronic Creatrix.
Yes.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Elissa, thank you so much for being on Fun with Horror.
Thanks for having me.
Andrew and I love you.
Oh, I love you. This is
everybody out there, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another episode, but until then, we love you all. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, don't go down.
One thing about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach. All the damn vampires.